I'm Danielle with Put a Finish on It. If you're a writer looking for an editor, let me know. In April, I had a pretty great reading month, having read 10 books. The first was Deaf Child Crossing by Marlee Matlin. This was published in 2004. I've loved Marlee Matlin since I saw Children of a Lesser God when I was a teenager, and I'm delighted that she's now writing books with deaf characters in them. Unfortunately, I didn't love this one. It's the story of two 9-year-old friends, one deaf, one hearing. And you know, they have fights and they make up, they go to summer camp. I think it would have worked better as a children's book, like a long picture book, rather than a 200-page novel. Next, I read the YA novel Just Like Martin by Ossie Davis. This one was published in 1992. Isaac Stone is almost 14, living in Alabama in 1963. He's active in his church and idolizes Dr. King. The story covers the time from the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom to the assassination of President Kennedy. From the title and the target age group, I expected the story to have a simple, inspiring storyline. While it does only highlight the feel-good famous moments of the I Have a Dream speech, the storyline itself is unflinching. For example, Isaac's dad is a Korean War veteran who doesn't believe in nonviolence and doesn't care for Martin Luther King. I really recommend this book for readers 12 and up who are interested in this subject. Next, I read The Pick-Out Blues by Jan Greenberg from 1982. The title, the cover, I had to try it. 15-year-old Jody is overweight by 1980s standards, has issues with overeating, and a truly overbearing mother. Yep, it's got some cringeworthy 80s moments. It all has Shakespeare, Dickens, Ogden Nash, and a nod to From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basile, Frank Wilder. Okay, back to serious subject matter. Next, I read A Raisin in the Sun, a play first performed in 1959, written by Lorraine Hansberry. The play is set in post-World War II south side of Chicago, and features 3 generations of a black family living in a cramped apartment. I especially enjoyed the character of Benita, who is the first in her family to go to college and is studying to be a doctor. She is also exploring her African roots. By turns funny, frustrating, tragic, and hopeful, I highly recommend this play. Next was Families and Other Non-Returnable Gifts by Claire Lazebnik. This one was published in 2011. I've read The Smart One and The Pretty One and Epic Fail by Lazebnik and enjoyed them. So when I saw this in a secondhand store, I picked it up. It's about Keats, an almost 25-year-old middle child, her older sister, Dr. Neurosurgeon Hopkins, and her younger brother, the shut-in Milton. Keats thinks she has her life figured out even though she feels inferior to her older sister. Then her parents separate for real this time and need to sell the house that she grew up in. I really enjoy Lazebnik's characters and writing, and especially her dialogue, and found myself laughing out loud several times throughout this novel. There's great believable dialogue, an intelligent protagonist, and some pretty sizzling sexual tension. I did find that the psychology was over-explained or just explained a few too many times. The author could give her audience a little more credit there, but overall I really enjoyed this novel. During this time, I also read The Couple by Mr. and Mrs. K from 1971. It is a husband and wife's utterly frank account of their experiences in Masters and Johnson Sex Clinic. My husband and I are making our way through Showtime's Masters of Sex, a drama based on the lives and work of Bill Masters and Virginia Johnson, pioneers in the study of human sexuality. So we saw this book secondhand and thought it would be fun to read a non-fiction account of some of the work of Masters and Johnson. Interesting indeed. Next, I read A Royal Pain by Ellen Conford from 1986. This one is for fans of stories like The Princess Diaries. In A Royal Pain, Abby from Kansas finds out a few weeks before her 16th birthday that she was switched at birth with a princess from a small European country. It's pure fluff and fun 80s style. There's roller skating in the ballroom and swooning over a hunky commoner. Most appealing to the 10 to 12-year-old set. Next, I read Coffee Will Make You Black by April Sinclair from 1995. It's set in the 60s south side of Chicago, so it was a good continuation for me from the setting of A Raisin in the Sun. This story is about Jean Stevie Stevenson's life in junior high and high school. Stevie navigates puberty and boys and friends and a crush on a white school nurse, as well as race pride and prejudice. One great moment comes when Stevie's mom sees that someone has spray painted "Black is Beautiful" on the side of a building. She had grown up using the terms Negro and colored and had never heard of using black in a positive way before. This book is written for adults, but I also really recommend it for mature teens. It does have PG-13 and R-rated material, but it also has a lovely and highly relatable young protagonist. I recommend this one quite a bit. I followed that from the sequel from 1996, Ain't Gonna Be the Same Fool Twice. We follow Stevie from college, the first person in her family to go, to 1970s San Francisco. I think I enjoyed this one even more than the first because Stevie has survived puberty to struggle more deeply with the issues and questions around race and racism, interracial relationships, sexual identity, gender roles, stereotypes, and labels. In her 20s, she's really grappling with stereotypes and individuality, and whether or not she needs a label or if she can just be a person. Really enjoyed this and really recommend it. Do be warned that if it were a TV show, it would be rated M for mature audiences, for sex, drugs, and language. It is San Francisco in the 70s after all. Lastly, I finally finished The Crusade for Justice, an autobiography of Ida B. Wells from the 1920s. And there you have it, all 10 books I finished reading in April. Thanks for watching.